Today I'm going to walk you through how to crack a Wi-Fi password. This is part 2 of my Wi-Fi hacking series. In part 1, I showed you all how to capture a handshake, run a deauth attack, and put your Wi-Fi adapter in monitor mode. Today we're taking it a step further and we are going to actually crack that handshake that we captured in that previous video. And just a quick disclaimer, everything in this video is for educational purposes only. So make sure if you're going to run this on environment or a Wi-Fi, make sure you have permission to do so and you are using it in the ethical way. If you're new here, my name is Ari and I make videos on cybersecurity, lifestyle, and everything tech. If that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, make sure you hit the comments, and hit that notification bell. Let's get into it. Before we even touch Aircrack-ng or any other tools that we're going to use today, we first have to do the first step, which is Recon. That's how we find which targets we want to target as far as which Wi-Fi we want to approach when it comes to hacking. And in order to do reconnaissance that's your first step. It's passive attack, passive scanning. You're not really actively hacking anything. You're just seeing what's around, what's available, sniffing in a sense. And the way you do that is with a Wi-Fi adapter. Again, I talk about this Wi-Fi adapter in my previous video, which I will link up at the top here. So first we want to put our Wi-Fi adapter in monitor mode. Now I am using VirtualBox for this example, and I had a bit of trouble when I first was doing the Wi-Fi adapter with actually it being discoverable within Kali Linux. So you just want to make sure when you're actually, if you're using VirtualBox or VMware for this particular example, I'm going to show you how to ensure that the actual USB is being recognized within VirtualBox so that it could then be discovered within Kali Linux when you're using it. So you just want to make sure that you have the USB toggled on within your settings of the box that you're going to be using. And I just go the extra mile of actually adding it to the allow list. And then once I get in Kali Linux and turn it on, sometimes it may not be recognizable, so I just unplug it, plug it back in, and then make sure that that is also checked within Kali Linux. If y'all would like me to do a tutorial video on that, for anybody that's having trouble, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will be happy to do so. So we want to make sure that our adapter is actually being recognized, and we'll do that by just looking at our USB list. We can see here that our Wi-Fi adapter is being shown, and we're going to do iwconfig, and we can see WLAN 0 is our adapter that we're going to be using. And in mode, we can see that it is in manage mode, which means that we need to put it in monitor mode in order for it to get turned on. So we'll do that with sudo Aircrack-ng start, and then we're going to do start WLAN 0. And now we can see it has turned this actual WLAN on. And if we do config again, we can now see it is in monitor mode. All right, let's go ahead and clear this. And so now what we want to do is that first step, reconnaissance. See what's in the area. And because we already know the actual Wi-Fi network that we're looking to target, it shouldn't take long at all. So we'll do sudo arrow dump ng, and we just want to specify where we want to scan it, and this is going to be on the WLAN 0 mon. And once we find our target, we will go ahead and close it out. But until then, we just wait. And this is just good reconnaissance because it allows us to, and we actually have our target. I have a test FBI van guess. I did that just because there is an actual legitimate FBI van that comes around here during the daytime, and it's called FBI van. So I just was just being me and named it similar but guess. So a few things we want to take note of is our ESSID, our channel, and the actual BISSD. So we can just copy this and I'll paste it in my notepad. All right, so now that we have our target, we can go ahead and clear this again. And we want to do another dump on this actual network. So we'll do arrow dump ng. We can do channel if we want to, which was channel 6. And then let me copy our BSI ID and paste that here. And we can create a capture file. So we're going to do -w to actually say write, and this will be this file that it'll save in capture. And then we want to just specify what Wi-Fi adapter we want to use. All right, so now we can see we're scanning specifically for the BSS ID, which is our target, and we can see the actual FBI van guest. So now what I'm going to do is take my phone, and I am going to connect to this Wi-Fi. And once I connect to it, we then should see a connection being made on this screen as well. All right, and I have connected, and we can see that once I connected, we got that WPA handshake. That's just a quick 1-2 of how we're going to actually capture that handshake. If you want to see a more in-depth video and tutorial, you can visit the video I have linked here as well. So we're going to go ahead and quit that, and let's do ls to see if we have our capture. So this will be the actual handshake capture file we're going to use to crack the password. If there is an instance where you're already connected or someone is already connected to this Wi-Fi and you want to capture a handshake but you can't because somebody's already connected, that is where you're going to run the deauth attack, which takes them off the network and basically forces them to reconnect. Again, you can see this in my previous video where I cover how to do that as well. So now we want to actually crack this password with the handshake that we have, and we're going to utilize this with Aircrack-ng. So we're going to do sudo Aircrack-ng, and we want to have our capture file. Remember, our capture file was just, actually let me go back and see what that is. So we want to use capture 1. So this is going to be Aircrack-ng. Our capture file will be capture-01.cap. And now we want to specify our actual word list that we're going to use. So I personally created a word list just off the strength. I knew what my network was going to be. And this is where it's important to kind of understand attacks when it comes to wireless, especially if you're doing like penetration testing and stuff like that. Based on your target, you curate certain word lists. There are a plethora of word lists. Within Cali, there is the well-known rockyou.txt. But in the real world, as a pen tester, you will have to probably curate your own word list based on certain things. And I'll walk you through how to do that based on whatever the case is for your target. So I had already did a word list because I knew my target, and I just created it based off a few parameters that I knew. And so we're going to specify our word list by doing user share and word list, Jesus. And then I named it cyber and press enter. And we can see just that fast, based on the word list I curated, we have found the Wi-Fi password. Now, in a case where we want to curate our own word list based on certain things, I personally use a pre-generated script. I personally like the cup tool. And what cup is basically a common user password profiler using Python. And so how I would actually grab that is I would just come in. It's already pre-installed into my device because I use it. But I will grab it from Git. And what I'll do is just do git clone. And this is going to be the GitHub repository. And click enter. And because I already have it, it's telling me it already exists. But with Cup, it allows you to create and generate your own common user password profilers. And I'll walk you through how to actually do that. So I'm going to change my directory to Cup. And we can see that we have the actual Pi file here, Python file here, and we want to just say Python, hey Python 3, I want to run cup, and -I is just actually basically called a interview. So it's basically going to gather all that information, and based on the information that I give it, it's going to generate a word list for me. What? Python 3 cup. What you mean? Duh. Forgot that pie. All right. So now it's going to walk us through a few questions. What's the name? I'm going to just say John. Surname, Joe. We could do nickname, Johnny D. We could do a random birthday, 04/1966. Partner's name, Karen. Her nickname doesn't have one. We could skip that. Her birthday, could do 11/23/1987. Big age difference, I know. Kevin, Kev, birthday, let's do 08. I'm just making up random stuff. 1999. No pet name. Do you want to add some key? Yeah, sure, we can add some keywords. Please enter the words separated by a comma. We could do football. Saints, that's my favorite football team. Patriots. And I'll do black and gamer. All right, would you like any special characters? Yes. Any random numbers at the end? Yes. We do no. There we go. Do you want a hyperspeed text? Yes. And so now we can see that it's generating all the information that we want for our actual word list. So once that's done, we can just kind of go in and see. This won't be exactly the actual, well, probably won't work on mine. I know it won't work on mine because this has nothing to do with my actual one, but it's just an example on how to show you how to curate your own word list based on your target. And it just depends on the target. Like, for example, if you have permission to test the wireless network of your neighbor, say you get permission and you know all this information about them, you can use this actual Python tool to generate you a commonly used password, because let's be honest, most people will use something related to them, whether it's their name, their child, their grandmother, a special character, a special name, whether they play football, favorite team, you just never know. And this is a good way you can actually curate your own list based on your target. So I'm gonna let this run because it's probably gonna take a while to kind of get through, and then I'm gonna fast forward and then we can come back to it. Okay, so now since the actual word list has finished, we can go to ls and now we can see our word list is john.txt. So now, we can run it again with the actual cup file. So let's do Aircrack-ng, and instead of using our particular word list, cup, and we should be able to do john.txt. And obviously we can see, like I stated before, they were not able to find this actual password within this file. So this is just an example to show you how to curate your actual word list to whatever your target is. And this is very important to know, because when you're actually doing Wi-Fi penetration testing, your word list can alter, your word list can change depending on your target. So to be able to curate and generate a list specific to your target is a great thing, because you can go through multiple word lists for a specific test, just because your word lists are probably more successful with actual parameters and things in the actual word list specific to your target. So now I want to show you how to actually do this a different way as far as Wi-Fi hacking and how to actually hack that password. Now we're going to use a tool called Wifite. So we'll do Wifite. And what I like about Wifite is it is actually an automated process of Wi-Fi hacking. So how we use Aircrack-ng, arrow dump, and all that to do that, this will do everything for you in an automated process. And you can even define your actual word list when you're actually curating it. So I'm going to do the same exact thing I did before, but using a different tool, and it only take one step. So we'll do sudo wifite, and then we want to specify our actual word list. So we're going to do dict. And in this case, this is what we call a dictionary attack. And a dictionary attack is a pre-compulated word list to actually attack a certain thing based on the predefined parameters of list that we actually created. So that is what a dictionary attack is, and that's what we're going to use again for this example. And we're going to do share word lists, and it was this. And now it is going to access. Another thing I like about Wifite is it actually puts your actual Wi-Fi adapter in monitor mode automatically, so you don't have to manually do that as well. We see our target, and now it wants us to select the target. We're going to do Wi-Fi van, so we'll click 1. We don't want to scan for that, so we'll do that. We'll click Control-C again, yes. We don't want to scan for that. And so we want to capture a handshake. So it has already captured a handshake. We can see that it has developed a new client. And now what it wants to do is just listening to see if it can find anything else. And it's also running a deauthentication attack. So since I'm probably still connected on my phone, it disconnected me, and then it's going to reconnect me. And it successfully did that. And so now we can see from the dictionary we use, same password, it utilized the word list that we said we wanted to use, and it also cracked our actual WPA2 handshake and got the password, all within probably 1 minute. So this is another tool that is very powerful if you know how to use it correctly and give it the right information to actually crack that password. So from this video, I have shown you how to crack your actual Wi-Fi password when you have generated and collected a WPA2 handshake. We walk you through how to crack that password with Aircrack-ng as well as Wi-Fi. And I also showed you guys how to curate your own list using a tool called cup.py, which is a Python script. I hope this video was helpful to y'all. Again, this is probably one of my favorite things to do, Wi-Fi hacking. Again, it is a part of my journey as well. So a lot of these things may be from a beginner standpoint and basic level. But again, I am just learning just like you are learning. And this is probably the most I can be hands-on at the moment. So if y'all enjoyed this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And if you want to leave me a comment and tell me how you like the video, feel free to do that as well. And until next time, y'all have a good one. Make sure, again, y'all doing this ethically and y'all have permission. See y'all in the next video.